It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of April 11th, 1997. We've got 5 movies to look at today, so let's not waste any time. Let's just jump on into it, and we'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, Anaconda. Nothing like a good, fun, guilty pleasure movie where it's basically Jaws, except instead of a shark going after the humans, it's a giant anaconda. And unlike Jaws, however, the special effects looked a lot better in Jaws than they do in this movie. And that movie had special effects that barely worked. But I digress. Anaconda, yeah, it is. It's not a great movie, but man, is it a fun film to watch. I mean, it's so ridiculously stupid, it's so over the top, the special effects look absolutely horrible, but I can't help but have a good time with it, man. You got a really good cast here: Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Jon Voight, Eric Stoltz, Jonathan Hyde, Owen Wilson, and an anaconda that, man, has not aged very well. The CG effects in this movie look absolutely horrible, but you can tell that the filmmakers kind of know that going into it. I think they have a good idea about what kind of a film they're going to make here. I mean, Jon Voight in particular is having the time of his life in this ridiculously stupid performance that he has in this movie. Like, the trailer doesn't really show it here. You got to watch the movie for yourself, man, because man, Jon Voight is so over the top in this. It's glorious to watch. Like, this is a fun guilty pleasure movie. It's not a great film whatsoever. It's very lackluster. You can easily predict what's going to happen, but you know what? You have to know that going into it. Go into it, have the time of your life. I certainly felt that way, and when I did, I had a really good time with it. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. They know that they're in on it. Unfortunately, the other sequels in the series did not really handle that very well, especially the next one, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, and then, of course, you have the direct-to-video sequels, and then it somehow made it all its way back around when they made it crossed over with Lake Placid of all films. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a sandwich. You get a good over-the-top movie to start off, a fun, cheesy movie to end it, but you have actually 4 really bad movies in the middle there. But yeah, good fun all around. They are rebooting this movie. I think they just announced a director not too long ago, so it's going to happen again. So hopefully this reboot captures the spirit of the first movie, but probably won't. Probably be just another generic horror film that doesn't know how to not take itself too seriously. But we're gonna have to wait and see. So that is Anaconda. Let's go ahead and move on to the next film, which is John Cusack in Grosse Pointe Blank. Another really fun movie, a very clever movie, I gotta say. I mean, a film that mixes in a high school comedy with an action film concept, where you basically have John Cusack playing an assassin who comes back to his hometown to attend a high school reunion, and chaos ensues. It doesn't completely go into action movie territory all the way through, but it is still a ton of fun, man. John Cusack is very good in here, so is Minnie Driver, Alan Arkin, Dan Aykroyd, directed by George Armitage, who the last movie he did was Miami Blues, which we actually looked at back when that came out in 1990. You can go ahead and check out that in the corner right there. But as far as the movie itself goes, it's a really fun movie. It feels like a late 90s movie. It has a late 90s soundtrack, which is pretty awesome to hear. A mix of punk rock with The Clash. The score's composer was actually The Clash's Joe Strummer, but it also features popular and alternate punk rock, ska, new wave songs, perfect of the time period. Pretty fun movie all the way through. A very clever film, very smart film. Kind of wish this guy actually directed more movies. He only made one other film after this, and that was The Big Bounce. But after that, he kind of fell off after that. He didn't really do anything else after that. But at least he had one good movie to his name, though. Grosse Pointe Blank is a real fun movie. Highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. So with that said, on to the next movie, and that is Paradise Road. So a story about these women from England, America, Dutch, and Australian who were imprisoned by the Japanese during World War II. You have Glenn Close, Frances McDormand, Pauline Collins, Juliana Margulies, Jennifer Ayle, Kate Blanchett, Elizabeth Spriggs. Of course, it's directed by Bruce Beresford, who did, of course, Driving Miss Daisy. His last movie was Last Dance, which wasn't really that great of a film. That's pretty much all I know about this one. I never even heard of it. I never even seen it, obviously. It hasn't gotten the best reviews from what I've seen from it, but I mean, you got a really good cast of people that could probably save it. Glenn Close, Frances McDormand, Juliana Margulies, Kate Blanchett. I mean, these are capable actors, so at least you can hope that the acting really saves the film when it's all said and done. But other than that, though, I don't really know if it's any good or not. I've never really had anybody talk about it, so maybe it's not that great after all, or maybe it is. Maybe it's an underrated gem. I really don't know for certain, but that's Paradise Rose. So on to the next movie, and that is Keats to Tulsa. Another one of those movies you feel like was trying to cash in on the success of Pulp Fiction. You've got an ensemble that includes Eric Stoltz, James Spader, Deborah Unger, Cameron Diaz, Mary Tyler Moore, James Coburn, Michael Rooker, Peter Strauss, Joanne Going, James Spader. What I don't really have anything much to say, honestly, because I've never even heard of this movie. I've never seen it before. Judging by the reviews I see from here, kind of like with Paradise Road, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot there that can make this stand out on its own or seen as that great of a film, honestly. So, like I said, never seen it. Don't know if it's any good or not, but judging by what I've seen here, probably not. I mean, it could honestly be good, but at the same time, I haven't heard anything about it that sounds promising, so tough call on that one. Don't really have any much more to add to that one. So let's go ahead and move on to the last one, which is Schizopolis. I could have sworn I looked at something similar to this with Grey's Anatomy, this Paul and Grey movie, which we looked at on, I think it was either the show before this or the show after that, or the show before that, but turns out this is the same guy. This is directed by Steven Soderbergh as well. I mean, this is a much different film, though, but it feels very similar to Grey's Anatomy in terms of the style they go for here. You have a surreal experimental comedy film with a nonlinear narrative, and that's Soderbergh actually playing the doctor there. I really do not know anything about this movie. I don't know if it's anything. I don't even know what the story is. I didn't even know that Steven Soderbergh himself actually made it, but he made it. I guess he made it around the same time he made Grey's Anatomy, and it certainly looks weird. It certainly looks like an odd film. Looking at the trailer for this, let me see if I can find an actual plot for this. All it says is Fletcher Munson, the lethargic employee of a pseudo-religious self-help company, and his doppelganger, the friendly but dull dentist, Dr. Jeffrey Korchak. That's literally what it says on IMDb, so I really don't know for sure about what this movie is, but my curiosity is indeed piqued. I don't know. This is one that I might have to check out at some point. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon, but I love Steven Soderbergh. I love his works. Kind of feel obligated to check this one out since I've never seen it before. That and Grey's Anatomy, too. So, that's all I got for you on that one. That's Schizopolis. So on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll have 5 more movies, including Wesley Snipes and Diane Lane in Murder at 1600. We have the TV adaptation McHale's Navy with Tom Arnold, Joe Pesci and 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag, Traveler, and Hollow Road. So 5 movies to look at next time around. We'll look at those on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So again, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.